Oh, that's so much better. All right. Letting everybody in the Freedom Squad chat know we're live in the garage prepping for a Freedom Squad meetup with the boys tomorrow. All right, let's I'll turn the volume up on the tablet just for a quick check. Make sure that I can hear me. There's Josh. I'm testing out a different set of cameras and mics. Let me know if you hear me okay. Because I don't hear me, but I've got a better chat setup than I have with my phone. As you guys can see with my tablet, I can actually see the stream and the chat a whole lot better than I could see it with my phone. So this is what will be sitting next to me at the in my chair tomorrow. So let me know if you hear me okay. I have no idea, but I'm getting some stuff sorted. Hopefully you can hear me. Because I don't hear. Let me turn my volume all the way up. I'm not hearing anything on my tablet. Is it muted? It's muted. Oh, no. I'm turning it back down because now I can hear it. Okay, it was muted on my stream. So there we go. Yeah, now I can actually hear me. This is going to be so much better because I'm going to have my tablet next to my seat instead of my phone, and I can actually see the live and the control room. So yeah, what I'm doing is I'm actually going to shoot a video on this later, a review, kind of first look. But I don't have any way anymore since I sold all my shit. I don't have any way of kind of carrying tackle around these days, except for the few speed bags that I have left and my track packs that I kept, which those will go on a future kayak, but more or less, because I like using those as my like day boxes. But I picked up this Evolution Fishing drift pack in the 3700s, and I wanted something where I can, grab some. Notice I got the green, black GRAMPS colors. They also have them come in blue and like I think red and whatever. But I'm looking for a way that I'm going to be able in the future go from boat fishing, bank fishing, and kayak fishing, since I don't have a black pack anymore, and I don't know for sure that I'm going to put one on whatever kayak I get back into, because if this solves my problem for bank, boat, and kayak fishing, I'm going to come up with a different solution for holding rods behind me, and maybe just use this to carry my soft plastics and stuff around. I've been playing around with, I got a bunch of these Monster Bass bags. I played with the thought of maybe taking 2 or 3. I'm new to Evolution. I've seen like Bill Dance and several other, folks are kind of involved with them. And I kind of like the open storage concept, but it's also got a hoodie in here that you can pull out if it rains. You cover the top, but I like the open air concept of this bag. And like I said, I'll sit down and do an actual walkthrough video of it once I get it loaded up and used. But I like the fact that for my soft plastics that I can't put in these, I can, slide it in here and have quick access to it. And, then have 3 of these with me, and then, you know, I've got a couple other spares. Like I've already started putting like crankbaits in, because when I sold everything and whatnot, I sold pretty much everything. So, you know, hey, we're starting fresh, but we're starting with new gear to take a look at this year too. So, hey, why not? But if I did notice, and I already ordered it, check my Facebook today or yesterday actually. They've got a red, white, and blue one of these that perfectly matches our Freedom Squad. They perfectly match our Freedom Squad colors. So if you've got the red, white, and blue, you know, catchboard, and of course the Freedom Squad stickers, which yes, Cairo. That reminds me, I will do that this time. Hey, there's Will Junkin. Yes, I am feeling a million times better. Gramps has actually been working out. I'm finally starting to develop some pecs again. I won't make the comment that my wife let me know to remind me of that, but I have her check my scar every now and then, but she said I got pecs coming back in, so it's been a minute. But yes, I'm doing great. I've still got to have the hernia surgery that I think I'm going to push off till over this winter, because I've been in and out of the boat. I've been walking around. I've been working out. I've been doing yard cleanup, not dragging, not reaching. I know what my limitations are, but so far so good on the health front. So I have my follow-up checkup in a couple of months. I think August. It's either late July or August is when my 1-year checkup is. But I'll be doing a bunch of stuff like that too. But I think I'm going to put my hernia surgery off until this winter so that I can keep bank fishing, boat fishing, and maybe step into a kayak at some point. Who knows? But yeah, I'm digging these Evolution boxes. And these are just like, you know, they've got some other higher end ones. And if these work out well, I might get like a terminal one, because I like having one big terminal box to put all my stuff in, and then I use it to feed into my like track packs and smaller, like I like this Busby, but I was using this Busby kind of abusing it. I got jigs and stuff like that, but with these, I'm going to go ahead and start building up my tackle again. And like I told you guys, I sold all my stuff over the winter thinking I wouldn't be on the water at all this year, and then I would just restock in 2027. Well, guess what? We're on the water. We've already caught fish this year. I mean, I've already caught like 10 largemouth. The last live stream I did, well, the one before, I caught an 18 and a 17 and a half inch. Bank fishing with Josh, caught a smallie. I feel fine. As long as I don't reach and overexert, I've been okay. So I'm still moving like a really, really old man, being overly cautious, getting in and out of the boat, and even walking around the banks. But yeah. And Trevor, I'm with you. I love the track packs. I love the fact that they come, you know, they're small and handy. I mean, these are one of the best things that Yak Attack has come out with, like, ever. I mean, the various trays, you got the smaller ones like this for, you know, smaller items. You got the ones that go this direction, to take the box this way. And then some of them, they got other trays where they go longwise, which is great for like buzz baits. And I'm not sure what all I got in here with me, but I'm going to dig all this stuff out and kind of get it sorted. I was going to go fishing today, and I still might. But I know I can't overdo it. But I got a play date with Freedom Squad tomorrow. We're going out to Lake X. So I told myself today I'm going to get a little more organized. We'll put Jeremy's PWR 129 versus Matt's Titan X versus my XTR 1675. Yeah, I'm still promoing the Bonafide because love me some kayaks, but we'll see what we end up with. Old Town, Bonafide. An XTR might be the smartest thing for me to do. But I figured today I'm going to get some soft plastic sorted and put into these Evolution things and then give this thing. But I was looking for something, and I've actually got a Plano. I'm not going to grab it because I might give that away to a bank angler that I run into. I got a Plano backpack that I won in a Heroes on the Water thing a while back. But for me, I don't really want a backpack because I'm not trekking through the woods and stuff like that too. I need to save that for like, to give it to somebody perhaps who's like a full-time dedicated bank angler. Should have gave that to Josh. Thinking about it, he probably could have used it. But again, I need something that I can go from bank to boat to kayak, and I think this drift series, appropriately named, and they come in various sizes. I think I just popped on their website, and actually I ordered this off Amazon last week, and then I started following them on Facebook and saw that they were doing a oh, let me not forget, Evolution series or Evolution. Let me get your name right. Evolution Fishing. Yeah, they offer for veterans and first responders. They're connected with GovX, so I think you get like a 10 or 15% discount when you order, through their website. Now I got my stuff off of Amazon just because that's how I'm used to shopping. But when I bought that red, white, and blue tray yesterday, because hey, Freedom Squad, it offered me to connect with GovX and get a little discount. So thank you, Evolution Fishing, for offering that. Not everybody does that, but I will sure shout it out when I know that happens. And it's kind of like I used to do with Dobbins back in the day before they went to whatever company they're with now, before Gary sold the company. But Dobbins would offer like a heavy military discount. And I always like shouting those guys out because they take the time to offer that to first responders and veterans alike. So, yep, Trevor says, love using the GovX account. I mean, I appreciate the fact that they offer that and they let us connect to it. It saved us, that's why I kind of like use Yeti, and I tend to try to promote and use companies that at least offer. Now, sure, are they more expensive than the average? And you could save money by going to Walmart and getting the whatever. I understand that philosophy, and that is the way I was when we were raising kids. And I say we because my wife has been the same way. We bought what we had to buy to get through in the days where we didn't have a little more disposable income. Now that we're both empty nesters, we have, as Matt loves to, Gramps has folding money. Gran's the same way. She would buy the cheapest, appliances that would get us by, that we could afford at the time. And then every, few years you could throw it away and buy another one. She tends to buy more stuff that's going to last for a while because we can, and it's going to last her a while. So now if she's buying Cuisinart mixers, and I think I said that right, that level of kind of stuff, when the grandbabes are here and they're doing their thing in the kitchen on Thanksgivings and whatnot, she's got better stuff that she's not buying, wearing out, and throwing away and buying every couple of years. Buy once, cry once. So I do the same thing with rods and reels. The only place I haven't played that game is with this boat because I don't need a Bass Cat or a Ranger or a Nitro. I don't need that to fish the way I fish. This is the one thing I fish within my means because I don't spend enough time in it, but I'm glad that I have it in situations like this where I can't be in a kayak. But it's also nice to be able to get around, and you'll see some lives this year with my youngest and his new bride, with my oldest and his two daughters, and of course Peyton, Hunter, and Chauncey like to fish too. So you'll see more family. This boat will be more of the family stuff, for this year. But that's kind of why I broke it out. But also, honestly, it lets me get on the water and not be stuck in the chair while I'm still waiting. So yeah, I know I'm sounding like a floating commercial, but sometimes that's what I built the channel on, is me going fishing, me talking about gear, and kind of sharing my thoughts with you guys. If this thing turns out to be a piece of, then I will tell you that it's a piece of, because I don't care. I mean, if I think something's trash, I will come out and flat say it. I've had to do it when I got brought onto the Jackson kayak team and, got into that NAR. Now, of course, they didn't give it to me, but, I got a discount on it. I told y'all what I thought and gone, and went back to an Old Town. But I will still promote and talk about the things that I 100% believe in. Now, I can't talk about new canoes because I don't fish out of them, but I know plenty of people do, so I feel confident enough based on feedback from people I trust to know that those are good quality kayaks. What do I talk about? I talk about Old Town, and I talk about Bonafide, the ones that I fished out of when I was big, or when I was, less big, as I am now, back in the day. Trevor says he remembers that nightmare. So, and I know a lot of people who like those, but no, I don't like the way they did me. The shop that I work with down in Kentucky, absolutely fantastic. Had zero to do with the shop. But, you know, that's just the way it rolls. I mean, I still would send people there if they were dead set on buying a new or a Jackson. I would send them down to that shop in Kentucky because they're absolutely fantastic. Anywho, let's get some baits loaded up, because I actually wanted to see if Jeremy then wanted to do a frog challenge tomorrow. Matt probably would, but Jeremy's like, that where we're going is not set up for that. It's more grass. You know, he wants to save that for like pads and stuff. So I had ordered some of those prickly pears based off of Josh and Liz's feedback, and I found some, probably paid more than everybody else did, but I found some online and got some in. But I took one and I actually traded it to Jeremy so I can get one of the Chads that he and I had swapped for last year, because I picked some up and got him some and me some, but I didn't want to go buy another new one. But I'm going to throw this tomorrow, and at some point I'm going to throw the one that I got from Brendan. I was actually online with him earlier this morning asking what kind of trebles he recommends I order, because I forgot to do that last year. But I'm going to do a live just throwing the baits that I've got from Brendan, or at least a segment of it, because chartreuse blackback crankbait and then his glide that he got me. But tomorrow might be a good time to throw this. So I traded Jeremy one of the green pumpkin, or it might have been a lighter color, whatever color it was. I traded him one of the prickly pears for a Spro Chad so that I can try throwing this tomorrow. Notice I got it in my Monster Bass bag to kind of protect me and it from the troubles. And then I was doing this morning, and I was like, you know what? I want to test out my other DJI cameras in this microphone for like garage type stuff, because I like this because I can actually see the screen. But I was actually putting crankbaits that I bought from Jermaine's 6 Cents live stream. And I was like, you know, if I'm going to sit here and spend time doing this, I will go live and, you know, kind of do this. But since I basically had nothing to start with, now I did still have some of these bluegill colored crankbaits. Let's see, you need to go. You're a deep diver. You guys know I love a few different, I don't really want to take these out. I'll just show this one. This is an L-bill, but Jermaine had a whole bunch of 6 Cent stuff, but I guess he's partnering up with Pradco, I think it's what he said, and he was going to sell some of this stuff so he can kind of shift inventories. But, you know, for me, West Boggs, if it's bluegill, I'm going to have it. So, I mean, I think this is all the stuff that I got from Jermaine. So 3 jerk baits, 3 deep divers, 1, 2 big L-bills. I can't remember what they're called. I don't have my brain back yet. I'd say I got 2 big L-bill cranks. I got 1, 2, 3 of smaller size, the Swanks, I think they are. I got a bunch of 100 Crush, 100X, you know, the Crush series in like the red, orange, a lot of bluegill pattern. He had a blue chartreuse blackback. And then he had some of the flat side. I don't remember what 6 Cents calls their what do you call them? The ones that Bill Russell makes. God, my mind is still not, I'm not back yet. And then I got a bunch of shallow running bluegill colored of the smaller crankbaits. All right, guys, what are these? Rattle traps. That's what I couldn't think of. Whatever 6 Cents calls are rattle traps. So I'm gonna start labeling these up. But yeah, that's what I've been doing this morning, is going through doing that. And I was like, you know, I may as well go live, but I'm gonna do like a chatterbait box, a jig box. Take some of this stuff out of the soft plastics cases. I guess I can set this bad boy. I guess to talk about it a little bit, I like the fact that it's got holes in the bottom of it to drain. It's got a cover that you can unzip out of the back and come over the top. It's got a pliers holder, so you see I got my matching Guggen Squad pliers that's got the split ring thing in it. It's got a pocket here in the front, and one of these side things, oh, it's this one right here. It's got you put a spool in here, And, you know, you can pull out your leader line if you're retying your Alberto knots. The one thing I wished about it, I wish when these guys would do stuff like this, and I might take this as feedback to them. I love the fact that they let you do that so you can put a spool in there. But if they don't put it like in a little pocket to keep it in place, it's just going to bounce around in there, and you really can't just do what the idea of it is supposed to be. Now, sure, I could leave the line in the box and then try to, like, I don't know, Velcro it or something along the side. But I wish that when they do that, it's a good idea. So I can leave the tag end out. I'd pull out a couple inches, cut it off, and then pull out the leader. But I want a pocket there to hold that in place. So I may, in my review for Evolution Fishing, mention that to see if that's something maybe they can fix going down the road. But I've got some other, like Bubba shears, the little scissors. I'm still going to gear this out, but we'll do that over time and then do like a full walkthrough of it. This one doesn't have a spot for sunglasses, which is fine. But that's, you know, I normally carry my sunglasses with me anyway. But like I said, we'll go into a deeper dive on that stuff later. But right now I just want to get some stuff loaded up so I can go fish with the boys and, you know, kind of go that route. But I got a bunch of flushes from Germain. It's going to go in the chatterbait box. I've got a few chatterbaits left. Still haven't decided whether or not I'm going to trust like some Z-Man stuff in these things. I might just put one in there and see what it does. And then if I have to clean it out. But, you know, I'm so picky when it comes to Z-Man plastics. But I would love to be able to just put them in there and leave them. Sunglasses. These are my Bubba shears and pliers and scale that will probably mostly stay in a bigger bag or pocket where I can get to them. Then I've still got little line clippers. I'm going to watch out for these little Neds. I'm going to end up with that. But I got, you know, some flushes from Germain that I'm going to put in here. You know, stuff like that too. Still have a chatterbait or three. And of course, if you follow, you know, Jeremy, you want to see what Jeremy's winning tournaments on. That's the juice right there. He throws the Strike King Rage Bug. I also like the Guggen Squad. Their bug, because, you know, they both work with Steve Parks to get the design approval for it. With the little Rage phalanges there at the end. Says I have excellent connection, so that's a good thing. I'm glad this works. Not sure who's in and out. Don't know what everybody's doing today. Got some Ned heads that Jeremy made. Got some Z-Man hooks. Those need to go on my terminal thing. These are the actual Bubba scissors I'm going to put onto that bag, so I have line cutters nearby. Yeah, these are cool, but they don't cut braid nearly as well as these, so that's why I'm going with these. And we'll throw you over here for now. Just kind of going through these bags and getting stuff out for now. Got some of these Harmony nail weights that are 3/32 ounce for those prickly pears. Let's see, leave the Z-Man stuff here for now. And these are the 6-cent swimmer thingies. The not flushes, but the flush type baits. Black and blue jackhammer that I got for like $1 or $2 from Germain. Can't beat that. Half ounce, a little heavier than I normally fish, but hey. Hey, there's Gina in the chat. What's up? I'm just rigging out, getting ready for a Freedom Squad meetup with the boys tomorrow if it doesn't rain. I was going to go fishing, but I was like, you know, I need to take some time to kind of get some fishing stuff done too to make my fishing a little more efficient. I keep just like grabbing and going instead of, you know, kind of getting organized. So I figured today, with the chances and whatnot of the rain, I'm just going to sit in the boat and kind of get stuff stored. I figured I'd just go live and test out my cameras and my live streaming setup while we're doing it. Bunch of my smally jig type stuff. Got these Black Angel Lures finesse jigs for fishing smallies. But I've got all this stuff sitting in bags, and it's like I need to get stuff sorted. I did manage to salvage a couple of the old... This is a 6 cents buzzbait, I believe, and this is one of the Moab or whatever's from Mega Bass. Looks like I'm missing... I think I got short striked and somebody snapped my little tails off, but got a couple of those. Lay stuff around. But yeah, I need to get some... I need to look at some various bags and things for like spinner baits and all that. I did find some tungsten at a little mom and pop shop, so that I actually have something for my rage bugs, which I picked some of those up at the same time. Try to get my trash back that way. And I got a bunch of Great Lakes finesse, little bitty baby finesse jigs. These this company, Great Lakes Finesse Company, these dudes, man, they are some smally dudes. Hope you catch some big ones. I just hope I catch anything. At this point in my life, every big fish, little fish, I'm enjoying every last one of them. That is, I want to pursue some 20s. Don't get me wrong. That would be my goal. But for now, I just looking. I'm just happy to be on the water. Like I said earlier, I didn't expect, and it was hitting me. I keep saying I wasn't battling depression, but the more I look into it, the more I probably was. Even though I'm heading in the right direction now, and I might talk to my docs at the VA. I'm not one of these guys that are. It's just not me. I always tend to seem to work things out. But I know, like in my recovery, a lot of that was out of my control. You know, Matt noticed it. Jeremy noticed it. I'm hard-headed. I didn't want to notice it. But, you know, they try to help along the way. You know, sometimes we don't always listen to everything that we're told. We think that we got it, and, you know, you don't got it. But, you know, I've always been the first one to help anybody that needs and asks. And even when I don't think that they ask, you know, I've been pretty good at spotted it when people need help. But, you know, I kind of try to self-care my way through it. Which, I mean, I didn't have any thoughts of other whatever, but, you know, just... thinking I could go pass a test that I probably shouldn't have been forced into taking. I should have fought back, but I'll make them pay for my future attempts down the road. But you know, it is what it is. You know, I'm okay. I'm okay now, but it probably cost me a few grand in stupidity. But you know, it is what it is. At least I'm in a spot where, you know, that didn't hurt me as much as it could a lot of other people. All right, nice jig there. Let's see, I got a Z-Man spinnerbait. It's kind of funny just going through. I've been kind of starting to order stuff again. I actually went out on Tackle Warehouse this morning. One of the things I love, and it's actually, I keep forgetting, it's like a Tackle Warehouse exclusive. And I need to point people to my link. You know, so Gramps can make a couple of bucks if need be. But they make the Tackle Warehouse exclusive Mini Max Evo, and I absolutely love that. Now, I guess I'm hearing rumors that Tackle Warehouse won't be doing as much of that kind of thing in the future because of the prices of tungsten, which, you know, I understand. I get it. It's a good looking jig. All right, let's dedicate one of you as a jig box and get some jigs going in here. This is all terminal stuff, so I'll save this for going in the small terminal box. Spinnerbait over here with buzz baits. Still got a few people hanging around, but yeah, I don't know what everybody's doing today. I figured I'd just go live and say hey and see what's happening. Let's get this. Can't see the mess that I'm working with, but mosquitoes are out here too. There we go. Anywho, let's get the jigs out of my terminal box first. Hoping the weather changes so Sly and I can go fishing and I get used to my new goodies. Heck yeah. Yeah, the weather keeps like back and forth, back and forth. I've noticed that too. Me and Jeremy were like arguing, what day are we going fishing? Because my weather app says this and yours says that. But we settled on tomorrow. We were going to go over today, but Matt was also busy, but he said tomorrow was actually better. So with most of us being off on Monday as well for the holiday, we're gonna go tomorrow and see, hopefully the rain stays away. Let's see, I'm gonna get my tungsten finesses up here. I've still had a few of my tungsten finesse jigs in a smallie box that was still in my black pack, so I still have some stuff left. But where did I put those scissors? I'll go ahead and make sure I get all the line cut off so they're fresh and ready to roll, ready to be tied on first thing. Those are good. I just showed you guys my scissors. There they are. Green pumpkin. When you were in Boston, it was 93, and the next day it was 60. Talk about a shock. Man, that's crazy. Yeah, the weather's, you know. I'm just glad I didn't get whacked by any tornadoes this year. So far. Get all my finesse jigs up there. This is a top water. I'll put you here till I figure out where you're going to go. Yeah, I figured I'd just go live and give everybody a spot to BS a little bit. Because why not? Let's see, we got some black and blue jigs. These are Strike King 1/4 ounce, black and blue. But yeah, I like having boxes like this where I keep the majority of the stuff in. Then I can just pick out a couple based on where I know I'm going to fish. That's one thing I need to order is some more of these Crush City, whatever their crawl is. I can never remember what they call their bugs. Going back in July, may try sea fishing. Oh, that'd be cool. That would be awesome. All right, another 1/4 ounce finesse jig. But yeah, I need to go back on Tackle Warehouse and order some more of these Crush City baits. Maybe they're on sale because of the weekend. I need to set that up top so I don't forget to go do that. All right, this is more terminal stuff. So I'll leave you guys in there. That's a little spinner that needs to go in its own thing. I'll put you up here with the chatter. Uh-oh, what'd I do? Oh, I just activated my camera. Make sure I'm back. There we go. All right. See, it shows me in here, and then boom, there we go. Oh, I can go back and forth. Okay, cool. Sorry, I got my tablet over here off the side. That way I can check on the comments. When I'm up front in the boat streaming from my chesty, then I'll have my tablet sitting off the next side of me, so you guys won't see me looking around. But this way I can kind of monitor all the things. What was that? Uh-oh. Close you. Go back to you. Yeah, but in the studio I can actually monitor the conversation. That way if I get a bot spamming, then I can take care of that immediately. But I wanted to go live today so I can test this because I haven't had my tablet out. It's too hard to do on my phone. But with the tablet, it's been pretty good. So Should I put Neds in with jigs? I mean, that makes sense. They are basically jigs. I could do that for now since I don't have a ton of tackle. These are all soft plastic. These are more crankbaits. So I still had one of my absolute favorite 6-inch cranks right there on West Bogs. Deadly, deadly, deadly. This one in the shallow diving, but then the L-bill to keep it above the guck on the rocks and grass. And then I have some of these from the guys 12 Oak something or another. I think they work with our friends Puddle Walkers, and I think Chase and Kayla work with them as well. But I ordered some of their stuff to support all of those guys since they have cool partners. I did have one remaining 6-inch Sexy Shad underspin. And then I got some of the baits that Jeremy poured. And here's a Z-Man TRD that needs to go back into. Oh, that's something else I need to order is more of the Berkley Little Troopers, because on a Ned, those things are deadly. This is just kind of reminding me of things I need to go back and reorder. I'm going to put this stuff on that box so that I remember. And these need to go into a Senko box. Senkos and tubes will probably go together. And of course, Jeremy likes the green pumpkin out at Boggs. We both like the black and blue, but I also use the green pumpkin blue swirl. Good stuff. I've still got some that Jeremy poured last winter. The Freedom Squad Baco. Alright, it'd be smart if I did jigs like on one side and some crawls on the other. So I would have everything like riggable and ready to go. Let's see. I like these Great Lakes Finesse crawls. I'll take them out and put them in a little spot right there of their own. Alright, but yeah, love the Great Lakes Finesse. Back in the trash pile. Little bitty finesse jigs. I do need to keep some of the labels for some of these so that when I go back and do a reorder, I remember who and what it was that I got. Oh, there's a Neko hook. I'll put you with the terminal over there. There's Josh. Just got back from the lake. How'd you do, bud? I was just showing these guys that I'm working on this drift thing. Lets me carry some of my 3700s and KVD bags in it, but it'd be good for going back and forth between the boat, the bank, and the kayak, just for like transporting my stuff. Josh, would you have any use for like a fishing backpack? Do you do enough of that around, or are you kind of settled in how you operate already? Okay, terminal. Great Lakes Finesse. Caught 119 and oh, look at you. See, I thought about going back down there today. And then I thought about going to Monroe, but I'm supposed to meet Jeremy and Matt tomorrow at Lake X. You have the big tackle. Oh, that's right. Yeah, so you're kind of doing what I'm doing. You got something that you can grab stuff out of. Was you fishing your spot? Much as I wanted to go up to Monroe and start scouting around up there, part of me says I want to keep going. Part of me says I want to keep going down to, keep going back to Patoka because I want to chase one of those Smalley Magic Baby Jack. Oh, yeah. Oh, I know the one you're talking about. Yep. I want to keep going back there so I can get one of those bigger. I want to keep going back down there until I catch some of those bigger smallies. That's my, as much as I know I need to go spend time at Monroe too, I'm just not as interested in chasing a big greenfish at Monroe as I am going to Patoka with the chance that a big greenfish or a big bronze fish. What's up there, Diggs? A buddy of mine, Elvis, who lives up in Minnesota, I was supposed to fish with his son up at the event last year, but he put me on to several bait makers up in that area, that, you know, some northern guys. So you have like Brian Schmidt baits with these Neds, and then the Black Angel lures, Finesse, PB&J, and some others. So, you know, I'm trying to expand and obviously show some love to local bait makers, but to guys that, you know, really are focused on. And look at this thing. It's cut so that you get the finesse like head, and then it's got the trailers, but then it's also got some danglers too. So, I mean, these are some guys that are, you know, custom tying their own stuff and finding what works, but that's a ball head finesse jig, and it would be good in those rocks that Josh likes to fish down at Patoka. So part of me says I might just keep going to Patoka, and I'm going to run into one of those big ones sooner or later. It's closer for me to go to Monroe, but I mean, smallies. I want that 20-inch bronze. I am so wanting a 20-inch bronze. Even though the state record smallmouth came out of Monroe, I don't know where, but I need to go. Like I said, I'm gonna spend this year and spend time on both of those lakes. So I was gonna go to Monroe today. Still might. Probably not. I need to rest for tomorrow so I can go fish with Jeremy and Matt. But I'm gonna be going back and forth between Patoka and Monroe, chasing those big bronze. Hoping to introduce the girlfriend to kayaking this weekend, putting her in my old throw and go to do that. Heck yeah, dude. Heck yeah. Yep, just get out and have some fun. Tell you one way to really do that, you know, just find a little cove where the big boats won't mess with you. Or if you're near like a smaller like river where they do kayak floats, you know, just something like that where it's controlled, you know, controlled chaos. You don't have to worry about, you know, the wind and all this other stuff. But I always say when you're taking somebody out, you know, kayaking or even putting them in the boat for the first time, just get them out and show them how fun it is just being on the water. Fishing is always something you can add into it later, you know, or just keep it simple like one rod. You know, something basic that anybody can fish. You know, stuff like that. My wife will go out in a kayak and she'll lay in it backwards and just take a nap. She don't really plan on fishing unless we go back up to Minnesota where, you know, the grown men fish live. Because, you know, she's like, our fish are so cute. But I mean, I get it. I'm actually got some of these Three Brothers baits that I got in a Monster Bass bag, and that is like a traditional bigger Ned with, a lot of skirt material too. So, I got plenty of like smallie type stuff. I'm trying to embrace the kind of smallie lifestyle. I fish for greenfish my whole life. But I really want to, another look at some of these Brian Schmidt. I think I got most of these off of Tackle Warehouse. I need to take the time to go and drop links in the descriptions. Maybe I'll do my like 2026 bait prep, for the season, in front of a camera and drop links just to give some of these guys, a chance or credit for the creations they come up with. Not to make it about me and views and all that, but show love to these guys that are making these baits based on, their experiences on the water. But, this one's got like feathers coming off of it. And then it's got some jig strands on it. And that's a little bitty lightweight Ned. And that's one of these Brian Schmidt Neds. But I'll show his thing. Is that actually showing up right in the camera? Let me hold that back up and look. Oh yeah, sure does. So one advantage I have of using these cameras over my phone is the phone, it faces the other direction. Whereas this is actually coming in this direction. Ah, all right, Diggs is taking her to a pond. So that'll be purely controlled chaos. Excellent. She should enjoy that. She likes the outdoors at all. She'll have a good time, that's for sure. And that's how we introduce people to the outdoors. Get outside, make some memories. Because that's what being outdoors is all about. I want to start getting into, when me and Jeremy and Matt's lives settle back down a little bit, we're not going to be as much about the traveling around the country as we are getting together, going camping for a day or two. Having that fun. All right, there's another one of those big ball head jigs. I need to throw that. That would go in those Patoka rocks perfectly. That's those Black Angel lures. But I mean, these things are absolutely fantastic looking. I got more baits than I thought I did. Actually, that just goes to show me how much shit I actually started with last year. I had so much stuff. All right, more Great Lakes Finesse. Another company that I would easily represent just because they are like the smallmouth. Them and Achigan like go hand in hand, but they do these are for like your spinning rod jig fishing with like a medium. But that's the Great Lakes Finesse. That's the orange pumpkin black. And I think that's realistically, the way I'm figuring this out is this is going to be like the difference between like smallie, lake smallie fishing and river smallie fishing. A little bit bigger stuff for the lakes based on like the rock stuff that I've been around. And then a little smaller for those like White River up north and things like that. Still got some of these BKK Silent Chaser Neds. I really like their stuff. Really looking forward to getting on the water with Mr. Shrinko in his jet boat. Trevor said he's booking a camping trip for him and the kiddos right now. That's what I'm talking about, bro. I remember one year, I can't remember if it was Hunter's senior year, but I had Hunter and John Michael. Must have been because Shane was already gone in the Army. We went up to Hardin Ridge up at one of our national forests, grabbed the tent, grabbed our... Boy, that was longer back than I thought it was, because that was when I was back in my old blow, the white one that John Michael named the Gilded Lady. And instead of our green machine now. But we camped up there for a weekend. We took a tent, but we took lamps. We took inflatable mattresses. I took a plug-in griddle because it was an electrified camp spot, because I wanted to be able to charge the batteries on the boat so we can go out and fish. Um, but we're up there griddling, eggs and bacon and making breakfast sandwiches. And, like I said, we had lamps, plug-in lamps in the tent. I mean, it was great. Hey, we got Grimy Fishy in the house. Yeah, I was just showing everybody. I'm prepping for a Freedom Squad meetup tomorrow, and I had just grabbed some basic tackle stuff, but I found some of like my older stashes of stuff that I never got to fish with and forgot I had, so it didn't get sold. But then, for example, I bought a bunch of these Great Lakes Finesse and some others, Brian Schmidt, Ned's, and all this very finessey stuff are going up and fishing the moving waters in Minnesota. And so now that I know that I can fish this season, I'm trying to get my tackle like organized with what I've got, and also to see what I've got, and so I can also see what that I need to get. I got some swim baits. This will actually go good on that paddle. Okay, so that's a paddle tail. I got 2 different paddle tails, empty bona fide. Okay, so we about got all of our jigs unbagged. Now I need jig trailers. Holy smokes! All right, so I got another Z-Man. Oh wait, oh, I got more. Oh, I got way more stuff. Hey. Anybody see some frogs in there? Yeah, we're gonna be. Jeremy found a spot not too far from bogs. It's not real conducive to kayak fishing because there's a lot of stick ups. But my Uncle Gary, who's the one that really taught Jeremy how to fish for bass, that's like his favorite place to go. All right, so we got a big whopper plopper. I actually got this one. My buddy Alex, my guide up in Wisconsin a couple years ago, I think he left that in my truck. So that got donated to the Gramps. Then we got another 6 cents, whatever their rattle trap type bait is, to put in there. Oh, hey, look here. And see, these were just in track packs that were left on my shelves that I completely forgot about. Still got a big blade, chatterbait, chartreuse and white. Named the pro that throws this with a big paddle tail on it. Let's see who's been watching tournaments the last couple of years. And then, if you might remember this one from a few years ago at Seed Tick before the fish kill, in the early spring of me smashing those giants on that one. Let's see who we got in here. Diggs is saying 3/8 football jigs with the crawl trailer over rock. Yep, Diggs, I was actually dragging that on the point that Josh caught that smallie from this morning when I was out there the other night. There doesn't seem to be much activity going on with the sun going down that day too, but who knows. But I was actually dragging a big football finesse jig with the crawl on it. And caught it with an old school blocket, with an old school jig, yeah. But yeah, one of our Japanese anglers fishes with a big chatterbait and a paddle tail. All right, I got a tackle frog with like a shad pattern and a bone. Oh, I actually found this mega bass popper on a lake. That might have been up in Minnesota or Wisconsin year before. No, I actually found this at Caddo. But that's a mega bass popper. I've never thrown it, but yeah, I need to. Everybody was saying I needed to throw a popper the other night when I was on the water down at Patoka. Now that I know where it's at, I can kind of get that ready. I'll set these over here, put them in their own other box. Oh, I still got a 6 cents bone walking bait. Probably right time of the year to be throwing that. I was scratching my leg. I had to make sure that I wasn't on camera where I was scratching. You guys remember these? The Brigade Blade bait. And I think I've got that with an upside down boot tail on it. Go ahead and take that off. I'll get new plastic for that. That looks like one of the swimmers that Jeremy poured. Which is still got one of the Brigade Blade thingamabobs. Little spinner at the top. Put you over here. Oh, you're Ned's. You need to go over there. Let's say I got one of my little Carolina rig pre-rig setup jobbers. Put you over here with the terminal tackle. What else we got in chow? Oh, we got a green pumpkin big blade. People really don't know how much I throw big blade chatterbaits, especially early in the year. Got a spy bait. Can't remember where I got that at. Maybe Liz? Did Liz give me this? I need to throw this. I think Liz sent me this, or I got it from Liz. But yeah, something else that I need to do a thing on, and up my own skill set. Oh, and then a old school black and blue football head jig for dragging those big crawls, especially come summertime. You guys remember I was talking about the track packs. Here's one of the ones that's like the vertical. So yeah, I got the track pack things going in all the directions. All right, we have weights for our terminal tackle thing. I actually found some of those in like a mom and pop shop. Doing some serious fishing next weekend. Don't blame you. I can't tell you guys how stoked I am. Everything's been working out perfectly so far, and the fact that I'm going to be able to fish. Here's a thunder cricket that I got in a monster bass bag. That's going to go in the old thunder chicken section. I think this is a 1/2 ounce, so that'll go with my bigger rod. Yeah, that's a 1/2 ounce. Oh, I need to put you over here with the chatters for when the time comes. Oh, here's a Strike King bait that I can't show you because it's the secret juice that Mr. Michael Ridenauer, his super squeaky. And then I picked some of these up at Dick's a while back, a little finesse type underspins that I haven't thrown before. Let's see what else I got in my bag. I got some Nico Helgies for the creeks and rivers. I got some Yamamoto. I think these are the smaller shad style whatevers. I think I got those in a monster bass box. Let me see, swimmers, we're going over there. Nikos, I think, need to stay in their own bag. I got some of these fuzzy nugs for drop shotting. Those are the littler ones. So something else I need to order. Of course, the bait that you can fish with year-round, all the time, forever, and always catch a fish, a Zoom fluke. I need to go get some super flukes. Shaky heading, big bite baits. 8-inch finesse word and blue fleck. Always will catch fish. And then I think I picked up some of these Aussies, and then it ended up getting more from Germain for Le Chater. Then one of my favorite Ned baits are these Z-Man TRD Fatty Z's. Absolute fire. Hint, they can also be used as a nice chatterbait trailer. Put those on a Ned. A little more finessey. Let's see what Dig said. Getting my flipping rod rigged for next weekend. 7.6 Abu with an Abu Max 6 4-1. Heavy fast action. There you go. Oh, is that for dragging your footballs? I like how you use the lower speed reels, reel speed. That way you're not tempted to reel it up too fast. All right, so these are some of the Z-Man craws, but this is one of the fuzzy nugs. I'm gonna put it back in its Z-Man little carrier here. I need to put some of these baits, Z-Man baits, in one of these evolution boxes. Which, I mean, looking at them, it looks like they'll be okay. But I want to see if they melt, which they may not as long as they're not touching other stuff. But that would let me, kind of cut down on the number of, but yeah, fuzzy nugs. I showed this to Gina last time I was on the water. This happened to be in the boat. You notice this is the one that's still on a loop, a fishing line. This one's one that gets hung on the Christmas tree each year. But yeah, it actually got fished a little. But this is the one I won't fish with because, it's a legend. It started the frog challenge. All right, some more of these picos. I need to find the little spinner. There it is. I'll put you back together. Then a bunch of these TRDs, the fuzzy. But again, I'm going to put some of these, I think, in one of these trays and then leave them, see how they do. But for now, we'll just keep Z-Man stuff separate and in its own packaging. Not that I expect it to melt, but I keep finding my little packs of dude wipes because I always keep a bunch of them with me wherever I go. Torturing a parking lot near you. Actually, I'm going to take, I got 5 of these. I can always grab these whenever I'm at Kayak Adventure Series. They always give them out. But I'm going to put these in one of the side pockets of this this thingamabob. Along with, I always carry a ton of these O-rings for my wackies. I like the VMC ones that let you go either direction. What was that? That was another dude wipe. Got my 8-pound Seagar gold label leader for my FG knots. All right, we got some VNC. Had to go buy these at Dick's while I was up there buying some sports cards a couple weeks ago. The VNC hooks and the Nico. The bigger fatty Z's. These things are actually awesome. Another great shaky head bait. One of my O-ring tools. I have several of these. I like my little plier ones. A little finesse spinner bait. I got a monster bass box. The shaky head that I found in the back under my truck. Why it was in there, I don't know. But I was glad to have it that day. Oh, here's a regular Evo. Oh, that's a baby jack. Baby jack, whatever. Little finessey spinnerbait things. These are more for the creeks and, smaller rivers that we fish for smallies out of. I got a little bit of a jackhammer collection. I'm actually happy. A good old Morning Dawn. I think that's John's whatever from Missile Baits. And then this is, I can't remember the name of the shaky head company that one is, but it's the one that Casey Reed uses. What else we got in chow? Oh, label for my Monster Bass lunker stick that I bought. We got a little bit of a rusty chatterbait here, but the hook looks clean. It's a 3/8 ounce. This is one of the Evos. A little bit of rust on the blade, but it'll still catch fish. And for Josh, I won't throw that at Patoka around your point because they will chew it up. This one I could probably throw down there. Notice you see how the paint is chipped off right there? That's where that That's where that contact comes in. That's the difference between a chatterbait and then those other ones that have like the O-rings in it. Now everybody's making direct connect heads too because the patent is gone, but that's all right. Grammy says, I'm getting ready to go to accident reporting center because someone used my bus to rip off the rear bumper cover when they turned right. Holy smokes. And it's your day off, it's no fun. Oh, that does suck. Got it on TV too. Holy smokes. Alright, let's see. I got another dirty old fluke that needs to go away. I always keep a little thing of Shimano real oil somewhere nearby, even though I normally use like the Lose paste and grease and the Lucas oil. They Lose and Lucas oil did like a little collab, so that's what I prefer. Got another little pair of my braid scissors. I got one of the Juvie crawls from Great Lakes Finesse. Speaking of which, somewhere in this pile of stuff and things is a reload of those because I just ordered, or yeah, I did order those. They're up here somewhere. Oh, man. I just ordered a replacement for my mini microphone because I lost the base, didn't know where it was. It was here in my bag. Well, good news is now I got two of them. I've looked through this stuff and I just missed that. I'm still old school. I still love these KVD speed bags. This one actually says Smallies on it. So if I build a little custom day trip, you know, from all of this stuff, and I put soft plastics and little stuff in here, that's the bag that I grab. But they don't make them anymore, or at least not like that. Sad face. But yeah, I figured I'd just go live and chit chat with y'all while I was doing all this. All right, is this one empty? Oh, nope, this one still has another of one of those 12 Oaks. I think it's 12 Oaks Customs. You'll see the guys with puddle walkers and then Chase and Kayla over at Southwest Outdoors. They work with these guys, but hey, yeah, I'm all about supporting small biz too. All the little bait makers. I need to put like all of those things in a thing and go do a video once I kind of get the Smalley thing dialed down. I don't want to go review somebody baits and I don't know what I'm talking about. Because for me, Smallies are all about it. And you would think with the last 9 months of me having sitting around doing nothing, I would have read the Smalley book that I got. I kind of looked through it, but my memory retention is not the greatest at the moment. So I'm kind of putting any learning aside. But all my track packs, I'm glad I didn't sell those. Jermaine offered to buy them. I was like, yeah, I think I'll keep those just in case. I knew I'd be back at some point in time in my life. All right, that one's empty. That's trash. If you guys don't keep a set of like these forceps in your boat, kayak, or wherever, somewhere where you can reach them. I got one for the boat and one for the kayak, so it just makes it easier to go deep if you have to get a hook. I'm going to put these in the back of this bag, and then when I get the kayak set up, I'll put one in there. But yeah, that's just in case kind of a tool. Generally, your regular pliers will get there, but sometimes you got to come in and do the little fish hook removal. I think I did a video on that a while back. How to go in and kind of like turn the hook so that they open their mouth and you can pull it out. Let's get this stuff in. Let's get this stuff in this jerkbait box. In the jerkbait box before I spill them all and lose them. I almost needed to grab a dehooker, which I need to order one of those anyway. I actually ordered one of those from their website like a couple years ago before everybody and their brother started talking about them. Because I know how it is. Influencers get, stuff in and, that's all I'm going to talk about for the next week. or month or whatever. And D-Hooker was one of those. And I get it, you know, it's those guys got to make a living. It's hard for me to keep following guys who go full-time unless they're making good fishing content and not just being a rolling advertisement for somebody. But I mean, I get it, they got to eat. But all right, spy bait goes in here. Let's see. You go in here. Let's see, you're an L-bill. You go up here. Lots of room to fit. You're a top water. You go with that one. You're a baby crankbait. You're a baby crankbait. There we go. Everything fit in there just fine. All right, cool. Lever forceps. Yep. That's how I find things too. I replace them. Yeah, good point. I was like, just got that in the mail the other day because I like using the mini microphone. I've got a smaller DJI camera that comes apart, and it's good for like if I'm doing walkthrough places and shows. But it's the smaller one instead of like these bigger DJI mics. But that's one of the things I've really been trying to do to update or to kind of like upgrade my content is making sure I'm using quality microphones that directly connect. That's one of the reasons why I haven't gone back to GoPro yet. Now, GoPro has come out with their Mission 1, which is going to help solve the problem that we have with heat and cold and them not operating. They're like $600 a camera, but if they work in the heat and they re-engineered them to really work in the heat, that's an awesome thing. And I'll give them a chance, but not yet, because I want mics that directly connect through their own proprietary wireless network like this DJI is with this DJI camera, because you get the best audio quality. You can use other mics with GoPros, but it uses a Bluetooth connection and it's not as crystal clear as the way you're hearing me right now. Not that my voice is a golden voice and, you know, microphony and stuff and things, but that's what I'm trying to do when I choose to use a piece of hardware. That's why I use a DJI action camera with a DJI mic, because it's a proprietary connection. And then also like with the streaming software that I'm using with the DJI Memo, going straight to YouTube. But this allows me to give quality audio, quality video through their app and directly connect to YouTube, and that's why we get it like this. Not a lot of people doing it like this. There's people that are trying to do like mobile StreamYard and things like that out on the water. I'm an IT guy. I take the time to, that's why I keep going live with these setups while I'm working these kinks out. And with what you see right now with my Starlink on the water, this is the audio quality you're going to get with the video quality while we're out there. Now, can I do multiple cameras and all that other stuff? No, not yet. But for now, you know, having my chesty on with a quality mic and then me be able to read the chat while we're out there, you know, I think that's going to be some good quality. Now, am I going to be a Greg Blanchard or other people that fish watch? That's a different story, because what it's going to allow me to do is just go live and bring you, while I'm on the water, the shitty casts, the good casts, the awesome skips, the there goes another Senko flying. We're going to keep it real. We're going to bring it to you live, both in the boat, the kayak, and on the bank. But you can see it live. But the cool thing about that is while I'm doing this, I don't have to edit any more videos. I can pull this live stream down later if I want to make like a montage and talk about that day of fishing if there's something I was going to review. But man, this is going to save me shit tons of editing time, you know, because it takes hours. I can spend, 8 hours on the day and 12 hours editing afterward, trying to find the fish catches and doing things to talk about and all that. Nah, we're just going to go live and bring you guys on the adventure. And then I could take highlights out of the lives later, put them in shorts, reels, whatever, for obviously those who don't want to watch a long live stream. But I'm going live today just so we can test all this stuff out. And hey, it gives you guys a place to chat and bullshit, which is, another reason why I like doing this, because you guys can chit chat back and forth. It gives you some place to do that with. Okay, so those are jigs. Okay, you're an empty track pack. You're an empty track pack. This needs to go in the terminal. Ah, love these VNC wires. They got little trap doors to hold the little rings. I like their rings because they let you feed it either way, whether you're Neko rigging, wacky rigging. Um, yeah, because I mean, Marty has made Neko rigging famous, and a lot of people really like that. But it's nice, easy back and forth. Plus, you can always let's see. This was the mount for the Starlink thing. Yep. But I got the Starlink in a bag, and I may just leave it like that. All right, so you're good. Ugh. You guys have seen me throw a lot of the secret lures, stupid tubes and all that. But one of my other favorite one, and the one that kind of got me into it in the first place, was Snack Daddy Lures. And I'm pretty sure they're here somewhere in Indiana. Oh, nope, Marine City, Michigan. But Snack Daddy Lures is another one. And I've loved their tubes for a long, 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 long time. But I also like Secret because they're in collaboration with Terry McWilliams, who is the old Bassmaster qualifier from Indiana that grew up, that fishes up on the river where Jacob Wheeler cut his teeth, and who Jacob used to fish against. And, you got to be good to beat Terry McWilliams because he was the original Bassmaster from Indiana, and the Stupid Tube was like his thing. He basically introduced the world to the Stupid Tube and Stupid Tube rigging when he qualified for the Classic way back when. But yeah, there's a lot of people up on that White River where Jeremy used to fish his tournaments against Wheeler, and there's still more stuff in here against Wheeler, against McWilliams, and all that. So Jeremy's one of them sneaky good dudes that a lot of people don't realize just because he knows fish. And anybody who's been out with him one-on-one will tell you, the way he can break it down and kind of show you. All right, so we got a 1/2 ounce bluegill color jackhammer. That must have come in a Monster Bass box because it's a 1/2 ounce, which I don't throw a lot, but I keep some. Got another Rage Bug. This is where these are the ones that survived the cut. My 6-inch bluegill 100X. These are two different sizes. Still love anywhere there's bluegill. So I'm glad I had 2 more of those. Stick, E-sharp hooks, grabbing my shorts. And then, of course, the next bait I'll show you, my backup sparkly. And then the man who finally lost his tail, which I got to replace his tail. But this is the one tackle frog. This is the one. That's the dude right there. Caught my 22 down at Guntersville and caught my 20 at Caddo. And I probably lost an 8-pounder on this bad boy by not getting the hook into him down at Caddo. Oh, that will always haunt me. But, yep, that's the dude right there. Paint on the eyeballs wore off. But that is my PB on the catch board right there. But somewhere in the house, I've got the little orange boot tail to screw a new one on. So yeah, but that's my PB getter right there. I should retire him and put him up on the wall, but man, I love that. That tackle is the one. All right, let's see. Trying to talk Granny into let me cut up that tree out back. But she won't let me. She told me to go fishing instead. And I was like, I got to get the boat ready for the Freedom Squad meetup. Let's see, what time is it? 21:20. All right, let's get some of these Senkos. I did take advantage of the Memorial Day sales at Yamamoto and ordered me a bulk pack of 50 green pumpkin and a bulk pack of 100 of the black and blue Senkos. Oops. And I need to go order some chartreuse blackback because my dumbass sold them all. All right, Mr. Shad Color, I'm gonna stick you there now for now, just because. Just because. Even though some of you are gonna come out. But yeah, I need to go get on 6 cent sites and order some more chartreuse blackback because we know. We know. Caught a pile on the stupid tube. Were you throwing the googie one? Ye olde stupid tube does the work. I've got a bunch of stupid tubes rigged here somewhere. Oh, here's some more jigs that need to go in the jig box. Yep, I got a bunch of stupids right here. They're dipped and ready to roll, but they're in my day pack, ready to rock and roll right there. I may just need to leave them boys in there. All right, you are the little Ned known as. Okay, you're going in that one. You're one of the three brothers, Neds. Another shaky head with a grande bass airtail wiggler, which I need to order some more of those. Or get Roppy to send me some. What am I missing? Where are all of my... I bet I left those in there on my desk. Crap. I don't really want to crawl back in there. I think I'm going to have to crawl out of the boat and go get those. These are all my weights, screws. I got some nails in here, tungsten. Yeah, stupid tube gets her done. Alright, little baby tungstens for the Texas Rig Rage Crawl. Trying to figure out where I put these little rusty nails that need to go away. Alright, scissors, pliers. I need to do a chatterbait box. More of the VMC, showing the tablet VMC O-rings. Just realized I left the college, regional college softball tournaments are going on. And I hear the ladies, oh, I'm sitting here with a full cup of coffee. Ah, it's still warm. Thank goodness. Little scissors, clear these clear these line off of these. Yeah, getting ready for that Freedom Squad meetup tomorrow. Hopefully the rain stays away so me, Matt, and Jeremy can get on the water. Matt had to order a battery because I needed my battery back to run this boat. 12 bags of Google on sale for $2 a pack. Dude, I'm telling you. And those are some of the softest plastics. People are like, oh, they don't last, but they catch fish. That's what matters. Catching the fish is more important than durability, in my opinion. All right, so get some more weights. I'm just sitting here taking stuff out of packs and putting them in my little terminal thingamabob. I need to go order some more VNC ringed. I love the ringed hooks. Great for wacky rig or fluke. Just throwing around and twitching it. These are a bunch of the 4 wide gap. I love those for Texas rig worms, rage bugs. Just works for all the things. These are the regular EWG, but I like the ringed as well. Just gives it a little more action on the fluky fluke. Those are Neds. Those are, and then my favorite are Neko. Great for wackies. I was going to do a highlight video of my first trip out to bogs. But then I managed to delete all the footage. I had a folder. It was of a different video that I wasn't going to do, and realized I deleted it and it was gone, and it was actually my bogs trip. But I think my brother wants me to save that juice for him until after the grubby season. And then we put out a highlight reel. But if I'm live and you're watching, well, that's a different story. Because, you know, I got to go make the videos. All right, that goes there, that goes there. These are Neds that go in there. Tungsten. Trying to get my little Busby box set up at the terminal. Frank says he's off to reporting center now. All right, my dude. Thanks for bringing your positive light into the chat every single time. Love it, love it, love it. Love our positive, focused-minded fishing fam. No negativity around here. Unless we're crapping on Randy Blockett for doing Randy Blockett things. But hey, he still puts out some good fishing tips every now and then. So at least we got that. But I love giving old Randy grief here and there. All right. Okay. Yeah, we still got some Monster Bass bobber stops. Take those out and put them in the terminal tackle. I need to crawl my butt out of the boat and go grab those other baits out of the house. Ooh. I just realized all my camera stuff is right up there hanging out in the open. Raining and windy, yep, doing the same. Yeah, we've had rain off and on, so I figure it's not raining here today. I mean, I could have hit the water, but for me, the bigger get is to getting the fish tomorrow with Jeremy and Matt for the first time in a long time. So I was like, I'll just get my stuff sorted and ready to fish. All right, that's a jig box. I need some crawls. I have got to go order crawls for jig trailers. I got a lot of finessey stuff that I'm going to go get off of my desk here in a minute. But I need to order some more of these Crush City. I love those. Some more of the Super Troopers for the baby Neds. And I'm going to put this Ned Crawl in this box to see if there's any ill effects. I'm going to sacrifice this front corner to see if I can store the Z-Man stuff in these evolution boxes. I don't suspect. I would think that they are A-OK, but I just don't know. One of my Midwest finesse heads that Jeremy poured for me. Actually, these may all go in a Ned box. That might make more sense to put these in a Ned box with their stuff versus putting them in a separate. Actually, they should go in a jig box because a Ned is a jig. And then I could put my little bitty crawls in there. Yeah, let's do that. BKK hooks. Yeah, make it make sense. I'll do that. That goes in there. Put some shaky head. Big Bite Baits shaky heads that we got from the Monster Bass. Randy won a tournament. What did he win? Is he doing the MPFL? Did he finally go, or is he doing like local stuff? Is he going out being a pro, or is he still being a pro YouTuber? That makes me curious now. That makes me curious. Is he out competing against the locals, or is he out going up against the other pros? Let's see, these are drop shot weights and Nico weights. I'm curious to see what old Randy's doing. Alright, these are Z-Man hooks. You go in here in a hook box. One's with the little keepers. Hey babe, are you awake in there? Don't know where Gran went. She's probably in there sleeping on my chair. Had Jeremy out doing me up a bunch of these little Midwest finesse heads. These are some of the bigger BKK hooks. Put those at the bottom. Those will be dragging those bigger baits down ledges when it's summertime. There we go. Where did I put? Alright, let's do a chatterbait box. Do a chatterbait box. What's everybody's plans for the weekend? You trying to get out and fish? What you got the weather for it, or is it going to be raining on you? Got a bunch of these juggle minnows from the chatters. See, these can just be a bluegill color kind of thing, and then I will put my matchy baby jacks and mini Evos next to them. Is that a flush? Oh, that's a juggle. Wind and rain here in Mercer, PA. Oh, that sucks. Solo Series Top 100 at Lake of the Ozarks. Well, that's his home water, so that's good. I'll have to go watch that video. It's funny because he's so anti-forward facing. But it's like, you know, one of those things, I'm not pro forward facing. I'm not against it. Fish how you want to fish. I don't have, you know, live sonar on this boat yet. And, you know, it's good for finding structure and stuff. Is it more exciting watching tournaments without it? Maybe. I like both ways. I don't really watch the MPFL. It's just not big enough for me to care about. You know, if they do a lot of good coverage of the live streams and stuff like that where I can see it, I will always, you know, I will try to watch regardless. But I don't care one way or the other. But to make a whole YouTube channel that's basically nothing but basically shitting on kids that do well with it, that's where I draw the line. I mean, it's one thing if he had an opinion, and we all know what his opinion is. But when you're calling kids that are winning, and I say kids, it's up and down. We say we want kids in the sport. But when a kid goes and beats their asses because he spends 300 days a year on the water while everybody else is taking, you know, the off season to go hunt or fish or whatever, you know, the kid did his due diligence and did his job. If his job is to be a professional bass angler and that's what he's out doing, whatever the tools are, then hey, so be it. But Randy's all about clickbait these days. Dick says where you're at right now, I can get to Glade, Dam, Shenango, Marine, and Philistine on about the same amount of time. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, my big thing is I'm in like a black hole area when it comes to bass fishing. I'm nearest Monroe. It's about a half an hour north of me. An hour to the other side of it. About 50 minutes. To the other side where for kayaking it's much better. It's about an hour and 10 minutes from here to Patoka. It's about 90 minutes where I'm meeting Jeremy and Matt tomorrow. That's, you know, they're more smally type lakes because they're in like a national, they're part of a state forest kind of a thing. You know, I've got nothing super close by, but I need to go make Monroe my bitch. Because that is the biggest lake, you know, that matters in this state when it comes to tournament fishing. And I need to go get good at it. That's where the Bassmaster, if there was, you know, MLF has been here before, you know, so anybody big coming here would go to Patoka or Monroe. Because they're the two biggest lakes. They have the most ramps. But like with Indiana Bass Nation now being here, in Indiana, that's going to be the number one thing that I promote because some of my best friends run that series now. It's nothing, you know, it's not that I'm not doing KBF. I'm just not doing KBF. I'm just not interested in it anymore because I have a local Bassmaster and I'm a Bassmaster Life member. You know, KBF is fun for a lot of the things that it does. It's just for me, you know, I've got nothing to gain out of it by doing it. And, you know, Bassmaster is Bassmaster. I mean, you really don't have to, You don't have to go any higher. The Big Blue Trophy is the one that's coveted by every tournament angler. And, like this year I don't have a kayak. And they got rid of doing catch 22 from a boat or the bank. That kind of pissed me off because, the whole point of it was to, promote and reduce the number of the 22. And when we came up with that concept, it was about, getting everybody in on that action. And now that we're just limiting it to kayaks, it takes me out of it. And it takes out, guys like Ralph and, Josh and others who could have promoted it. So I think I'm going to do my own Freedom Squad challenge or GRAMPS challenge or, whatever to kind of get us back into doing some fundraising. I know I was talking to Jeremy earlier this year. There's an organization that I used to support called Dogs Helping Heroes when I was doing my VFW, my motorcycle riding days. And Dogs Helping Heroes is down towards Louisville, and they rescue dogs and they train them to be service dogs. And then they find a veteran that dog pairs with, and they get them together. And so I want to do some form of catching fish, whether it be bass or a combination of whatever your favorite species are, to benefit, Dogs Helping Heroes, and maybe we do it through Freedom Squad. It ain't got to be about fishing with Gramps. I'm just one person of the Freedom Squad, and if I use my channel to promote Freedom Squad and everything that we're doing, whether you're in a boat, bank, we want everybody to do it. Oh, that reminds me, if anybody's in here. Yeah, Dick said he's a Bassmaster member himself. So, for me, KBF was fun at the time, coming out of COVID, and a lot of people were really big into that. But like all the guys here in Indiana, we had a big bunch of guys that did, KBF Club and all that because we didn't have a Bass Nation when other states did. But the old Bass Nation director here in Indiana, he hated kayaks. He thought they're just going to take away our business and this and that. Well, apparently when, he passed away and they hired a new, director, new president, he's all about it. He's about promoting fishing, promoting Bassmaster, whatever you fish out of. So my buddy Merlin became the state tournament director for Bassmaster for Indiana. And our friend Sam Jones, who's also worked with KBF and several other companies, like doing graphics work, he's like involved with it too. So, for me, the best of the best in the state are going to fish, in that series, along with a few other series. And then it's cool because in Indiana, we have Hoosier Bass. Sam runs Hoosier Bass Yakking, which is basically like a media that covers all of the events in the state. He puts on a state championship of state champions. So whoever the Bassmaster AOY and champion for the year is, those two people go. The two people who win the SIAC Angler of the Year and the champion, the Grubby champion, the Grubby AOY, and then the IKA, which is the Indiana Kayak Anglers. That's the other big series. So it's basically a championship of champions, and they just had that last week. And my buddy Merlin was leading it after day one, and my other buddy Glenn won it. Started the day with a 21-inch giant on Eagle Creek, which is so hard to fish. But he became a second time state champion of champions, so that's really kind of cool. Oh, there's Ruben. Hope your knees are feeling okay. Yeah, it's just the one bad knee, but it's still swollen as all get out. But I got a gel shot from the VA that'll help fill up that space. I got one of those about like 15 years ago, and it gives me some really good relief in the fact that it lets me sleep at night without it just aching constantly. So I can manage it with Tylenol. But yeah, I'm still a couple years out from a knee replacement. Might set up a tiny boat for Slayer Nation too. Got a 8-foot. Hell yeah, dude. That makes it fun because I love how like the 10 Boat Nation and everybody kind of does their thing within their within their means, and that's absolutely fantastic. Ooh, I got some bigger flushes I didn't realize. Oh my. I'm gonna have to move you down here and pop you out. This is gonna be the chatterbait box with chatterbait trailers. But I need to go get some more white flushes too, because I love throwing these on the back of a jackhammer or just fishing them weightless Texas rigged or even nose hooked. It's kind of a technique that I learned from Josh Shrenko that I'm starting to fall a little more in love with each time. But yeah, I love these flushes, them and the flukes. Of course, one thing I love about flukes, you run out, you can always go to any Walmart anywhere in the country and restock. So that is one of the benefits. I like the little more details of the 6 Sense stuff. You know, they are like a modernized fluke. But if it comes down to it and you got to make do, you know, I order when I can so that I can fill up a box like this. You know, these are boxes that I call my reload boxes. So I can keep, you know, jackhammers and trailers in it. If I'm in the boat, it becomes my primary box. But if I want to go set up, you know, a day box of kayak fishing, you know, I can go out and hit the water and have like all that stuff with me. But if need be, overnight, if I'm in a 2-day derb, then I can come back and reload. Let's see, I need to keep one label from each of these. I know about the Great Lakes Finesse. Kind of cleaning up my trash. These Black Angel. I'm keeping one of each so when I go to reload, I know what it was that I bought. Actually, I'm going to go back and look into my Tackle Warehouse orders. And somebody would be like, Gramps, why do you have a Tackle Warehouse link? Well, I mean, as we all know, American Legacy Fishing went down for months, and the rod blocker is back, and, you know, they're coming back in. Oh, I do have those baits in here. I was looking for my Juvie Crawl reloads. And then I also picked up some 3/0, so some heavier duty Neckos. And these are what I'm going to throw that Hags prickly pear on. I want something I can throw on a bait caster and smash them. So I picked up some of these these Owner Sniper Finesse. They're not finesse, those are some stout ass hooks. But those are going to go in my, those are going to go in there. And those are what are going to be throwing those bigger prickly pear, you know, style baits on. And that way I can save my Necco for the more actual finesse-y. But, yep, I've been trying to do my due diligence and watch and learn from everybody, you know, with these prickly pear things. And again, I know it's a bait that the bass haven't seen, kind of like the jighead minnow was. So it's kind of hot right now, but as big as those baits are, you know, as Josh proved down at Patoka. Yeah, and that's why I try to never get out of touch with Walmart baits, because, you know, the WFL, when they were part of, you know, Walmart, you know, Walmart got into, you know, promoting bass fishing. They would let you stay the night in their parking lot if you were, you know, moving between tournaments and so forth. You know, so they were big into it. And then, you know, that partnership just, you know, when it became Major League Fishing, you know, they did their own thing, Duckett or whoever. But back in the day when Walmart was associated with bass fishing, you know, they know they make a pretty good profit from anglers. And so, like I said, they would promote, you know, you staying in their parking lot, camping overnight. You know, just go in and get some groceries to grill up on your tailgate, or, you know, stock up for your next day, grab you some coffee stuff. So, you know, as much as shit as Walmart gets, you know, they try to bring us the stuff at the best prices they can. But, you know, they were really big into promoting, you know, boat batteries and, you know, all kinds of stuff. So I've never kind of forgot that and kind of always paid it back, because I love the fact that they supported our sport as a major sponsor for a good long time there, until, you know, those partnerships kind of ended. But it wouldn't shock me to see Walmart come back and do stuff like that again someday. I'm just trying to get my trash bagged up here as we're getting things ready to go. I think when I get done here, I'm gonna go piss my wife off and chop up that tree that's been driving me nuts out back. I was gonna go fish instead, but I'm meeting up with the boys tomorrow, suppose if the rain holds off. Would have been smarter of me to keep the stuff closer here. All right. I'm doing things that I'm not supposed to be doing, reaching and stretching. But yeah, I always love the fact that Walmart, you know, and that's one thing I need to do, and it's one thing I've done in the past, not just about making content, but I generally like to go in once every 2 or 3 years, and I will grab a rod and reel combo, and then a handful of baits that I can make a video that's modern of, you know, for somebody who's looking to just get into bass fishing. Maybe they're a pan angler and they met one of us and they want to learn how to catch fish. You know, I like to go in and do that every few years, just so I can grab whatever is the latest and greatest, you know, under $100 combo, or a combo that might range into, you know, to 150 bucks. Whether it's a bait caster, I generally like using spinning rods because that's what I like to start people out with. And just put together a bundle for somebody if they want to get into it. And I guess these Aussies are new, like the chatterbait, the chatterbait thing. I got a bunch from Jermaine in his Whatnot sale, but then I also went and picked up some at Dick's while I was up there getting some sports cards a couple weeks ago. So I'm going to try those out and hope they work as well on a chatterbait as much as I like the flush. And that way I can keep the flush more designated for my fluke fishing. There's the boys. Don't know what they're barking at. But we got a good bunch of chatterbait trailers in here of mixed colors. We got bone. We got more of a translucent. We got like a bluegill color. I've still got some of these Yamamoto little bitty ones that I think came in a Z-Man or a Monster Bass box. So I will probably put those on some of the minis, or with that blue and purple kind of hue, throw them on a green pumpkin mini max to give some contrast. I'm just gonna leave these flukes in their bag. I need crawls and I need bugs. I got some bugs, but I don't have any crawls. But I did pick up some more. These just came in. I got these off of Amazon. These Great Lake Finesse, the juvie crawls. Absolutely, it's a kind of a tube crawl combo. And then I got the little tube heads to throw them on. And that's more of a finesse-y, something else I need to order. I like their little baby tubes. I actually caught one off of a baby tube off that point on Patoka the other day. So I need to do that. What else do I have? Those are labels that I need to keep and look at later. That's a crawl. Some more of the juvie crawls. These are in like a green pumpkin with a little bit of chartreuse like on the bottom. Yeah, it's like they pumped them out and then they put some chartreuse juice on the tray and then laid them in there flat. But I like these. They're flat bottom, but you throw them on that tube. But you can also hook these on the back of a finesse jig and kind of get that same kind of thing. So you'll be seeing me fishing those a lot this year. Of course, you know the standard rage bugs. Somebody new popped in. Low Life is in the house. He says it's a garage day too. Build that Zebco spinning combos. They ain't bad. Ooh, I'm gonna have to check that out, Diggs. That's a good idea. Got some of these little fiction shads for drop shot. Those came in a Monster Bass bag, I believe. Those would be fire on a drop shot. I'll put those in the finesse bag. Man, we're getting we're getting stuff done. Let's see, I got these swim baits. Do I want to... I almost want to keep the paddle tails by themselves.
Where you at?
I'm out here, babe.
I'm putting in my Instacart order for the stuff they didn't send me for my noodles. If you want something else for dinner, tell me now, or forever DoorDash.
There goes my other... Man, I don't even know what I want for dinner. I have no idea. I have no idea what I'd want for dinner.
Then you can DoorDash.
Let's see, he's graining the camera. Oh, you found your way just to be just out of reach. Oh, they can see you walking in the door.
You can take that out.
Well, it's a live stream, so there's no taking it out.
Now I'm not making you dinner regardless.
All right, so that's a chatterbox. Chatterbox. I thought I had visitor garage day. Yeah, there you go. All right, at least, well, now I know what I got. I got stuff to get started with. Some more of these fuzzy nugs. I got stuff I can fish tomorrow for sure. Oh, there's a text. Good. Okay, so I emptied out all these plastic bags. My tubes need to go. Tubes are still in this day box, which they may stay there with my Senkos until I get the bulk packs of Senkos in. Well, I mean, I could go ahead and do a soft plastics box. That's the Neds, that's the cranks. Ooh, I need to order some more Grande Bass stuffs. Let's see. Alright, we'll go ahead and get the Senkos and the Grande Bass Airtails in this box. Some of them I see I've already got the O-ring on, so I'll keep that one up top. Be ready for quick action. Alright, so the Senkos and the Grande Bass can kind of go together. Put the tubes in here. Plenty of room. There's another Senko that's already got the ring on it, so we'll put it up top. Shaky head. Smaller Senkos. Texas rig Senko. 4-inch Senko. Still got people in the chat? Yeah. I'm just keeping you guys someplace to chit chat while I'm sorting out baits. I guess I can put these shaky heads. I need more shaky head stuff too. Shaky and Nico. Here's one of the ringed EWG that I was talking about. I love these with the Senko too. If I can't throw something in when I need it more weedless, I'll get these 3/0 ringed EWG hooks and throw my Senkos in there. I throw a Senko probably more than anything else. Everybody knows me as chatterbait and jigs and all that. When it comes to soft plastics, I throw a Senko. I mean, I bought my NRX Plus spinning rod for throwing Senkos because I can skip it up in the anywhere. And that is my number one all-time fish catching as bait is a Senko. And, you know, I do the dingers and all that too if I want to save money. But generally, I will just buy them from Yamamoto. Now, I'm a little apprehensive this year because Yamamoto apparently changed the formula from the past, the new bags from the old, and this will be my first year fishing the newer stuff. And if it's not what it was, then I will just go buy bulk packs of dingers and call it a day. But I'll know from years of experience of throwing Senkos, and if I think the fall rate or the shake rate on a wacky rig is different, then I'll just save myself the time, effort, and money from ordering them and just go get Yum Dingers. Now, if it's too close to call and I won't care, then I'll probably continue to support Yamamoto. But like I said, if I don't feel it's the same,
You're having chili cheese dogs.
I'm having chili cheese dogs. There's my good boy. Where's my good boy? There goes the moose. I guess they got to go potty, dear.
No, they just want to walk up the hill because they're spoiled.
They got to go take a walk with Granny.
Yeah, because the grass is wet.
Dick says, the thing this year is to try to participate in another. Can I highlight comments in? Let's see. I can pin the message. I wish I could kind of like highlight it on the screen like I can like I do my regular live streams, but I'm using the YouTube Studio versus my software that I pay for because I can connect the cameras this way. But pin message, channel activity. I guess there's no way I can actually highlight it. Bro, Sluggos, man, the original. I mean, the Sluggo was the original. I may do, and I saw Debo, I think, did a video on this the other day, and I never have time to watch anybody else's videos, just because I'm busy as shit, and it's enough for me to. You're here. You hear it? I hear it too.
Well, I'm not making it up.
No, I'm not saying I hear it from in here.
Ice cream truck.
So my wife hears an ice cream. Okay, we hear an ice cream truck, and guys, we live out in the country. Now there's a road like ours that's on the other side of the ridge that we live on. It's parallel to us, but it's literally a half a mile or maybe quarter mile behind us. Grand's out here in their bougie sunglasses. But they must be going down the hill in the other neighborhood, which has way more houses than ours does. But yeah, we hear an ice cream truck floating across the breeze from the other road.
They're trying to get in my car.
The dogs are trying to get in your car?
Not my car.
Oh.
Getting your gross old nasty. Not my car.
My gross old. My car is the same year as yours.
I was just. Yeah, mine's clean. Oh,
yours is clean. Are you saying my car is unclean? Uncouth? Unkept? So to speak? Probably is, because it's got like lake water in it. You wouldn't drive my truck in your work clothes. I wouldn't either, because the dogs get in there. Senkos. Or flukes. Anywho, Lunker City is still in business, so you still get Slugos regularly. Hell yeah. Man, you talk about a blast back to like the 80s. I think is when we used to fish those things. But hell yeah, that's awesome. All right. Big Joshy swim baits. Something else I need to... Everybody talked about them at the Columbus boat show last year. And I picked these up from the Big Joshy booth and kind of forgot about them. But, okay, so I got swim baits. This is all my... Man, do I go ahead? I may as well put these bugs in here too. Tubes, Senkos. Yeah, we'll go ahead and put the bugs in here. We'll make this soft plastic box. I'll mix these in with the Rage Bugs that Jeremy made with the actual Strike King stuff too. Oh, there's another Nico hook. There we go. Neko there. And we'll put these rage bugs on top of these. And then we will rage. These bad boys out of their clamshells and out of my way. Because they're still all in the fresh juice. Some more of the black and blue. Those are black and blue swirl, actually. Yep, I see that now. Not the black and blue flake. Grab another one of these plastic bags used for trash. I used to love fishing with sluggos, man. That kind of got me started in the whole fluke thing way back. Alright, and then rage bugs in this other compartment. We're getting a lot done. I need to find a way to store my frogs and my buzz baits and spinner baits. I may go look at that. Anybody, have you guys used much of the... I need to get some chartreuse dip too. That's another Walmart picker-upper, is another little jar of the chartreusey juicy, because I like dipping the tails of my green pumpkin goodies into said dip. Dip. I dip, you dip, we dip. Fishing Expo in Niles, Ohio, way northeast of Columbus. Went to listen to Drew Gregory speak. Had a good time. Yeah, Drew's a good dude. Love me some Drew. Old school. What is that? Share a poll. No, I can do a Q&A. I can start a poll. Sweetness. That's cool. Alright, I'll get you. Alright, so, what's that? Oh, another tungsten weight. Perfect. So I got 3 empty track packs now that I can save for the day when we can do some more kayak fishing. Which, you know, maybe by the end of the year. Why does that feel so heavy? That should be empty. Yep, down at the bottom. I guess I could put my buzz baits, frogs, and spinner baits in that bag with my what you call it? Chad. Oh, that's a Neko. You need to go back in the Neko box. Alright, so soft plastics. I need to get some more shaky head weights. Oops. There's a big blade chatterbait that needs to go back into the chatter box. That's the jig box. Where is the chatter box? There's the chatter box. Big blade chatterbait. Black and blue, red chow. Alright. There we go. Man, I think we're going to be ready to fish tomorrow. Let's see. Oh wait, I still got one more. I guess I can put the frogs. Okay, froggies. Let's see if these will fit. Take out a couple of those. Can't tell if my wife's trying to come back out or if the dog is leaning against the door. Sounds like my dog is leaning. Man, those blades don't fit in there very well. I don't think that's going to work. Let's see, spinnerbait. These are probably better off in like a bag. Now the frogs, they'll go in there fine. So I'll put A frog in each compartment. Except for the Christmas party gone bad. Oh, that popper needs to go into a... Let's see, these big Joshies will go. Oh, we'll do that, okay. Drew Gregory's Bash U video. Yeah, he does all kinds of... Of course, Drew threw me off completely because I thought they used AI when he showed... when they showed the video of his kayak with the baby power poles on it. I was like, this is the dude who doesn't spot lock, doesn't power pole, or doesn't, do regular, like, power poles, and rarely uses electronics. And you got him throwing with the big power pole kind of system thing in his... I was like, there's no way that's Drew Gregory. Somebody's AI generating this nonsense, because there's no way that's Drew Gregory. And it was damn sure Drew Gregory. I guess these buzzbaits can go in one of these side thingies for now. But I was like, there's no way, because Josh is just not a high-tech, or Drew's just not a high-tech dude, and it was Drew. And I was like, there's absolutely no way. But it sure was. Cracked me up. Cracked me up. Alright, so there's a bag of trash. What do I do? Okay, I'm going to use my mini bag here for my Bubba scale. And my Bubba pliers and my big Bubba shears. And I'll put my glue. These need to go in the top water slash... Actually, these can just go in the mixy-matchy things. What are my little... Did I lose one of those? O-ring, another extra one of those. I think he was fishing out of a Jeep instead of a kayak. I guess this is my odds and ends box. That's what it's turning out to be. So we got some frogs, we got some spinner baits. I may as well go ahead and put these paddle tails in here as well. Just because, why not? Why not? These got a purple feel to them. Throw you in there. Keep you nice and straight. Keep hearing my dog leaning against my door in my office. In the man cave. See, who is it? Yak Gadget, I think. They make where you can take your parking pole. They make these extenders that come off the sides, so you can put your parking poles through those and basically hold your kayak in place. I've seen people take those and drop them in like scuppers and things like that, but they recommend against it because you don't want to do anything more against your scuppers than need be. But I think Yak Gadget, JT over there, I think he makes like these extenders that come off the side of a kayak where you can make like your own little park and pole kind of thingamabobs, you know what I mean? Comes in handy. So I got these spare set of clippers. I may save these for youth angler, or put them in a monster bass box and give them to a young angler along with some of these O-ring thingies. All right, where's the Neds? The Neds, here's a Ned that goes back in here. Oh, here's my Juby crawls that I need to put in here as well. Juby crawl snacks. The Juby snacks. Yeah, those look good. But yeah, I think Yak Gadget. I mean, and JT makes all kinds of good stuff, and it's similar to like Yak Attack, but you know, I think he does a little more budget friendly, a little more basic. You know, it's him making them and not mass produced. But still, you know, he comes up with some good. I like his live scope pole that he 3D prints. You know, it's like heavy duty, but not overly expensive. He keeps customers in mind as well. Well, I guess all these juvies will fit in one compartment instead of two, so I can save some space. Still pretty salty. The salt shooting everywhere. Let's get these back. All right, let's do this again. Yeah, I love these little juvie crawl tubes. It's like a tube and a crawl mix. That's some creative thinking there. It's not somebody else just copying what somebody else did, but kind of coming up with their own thing. And I am all about supporting those guys who are innovative in that way. I'm going to put you in here with that so you can get some of that salt on you. Some more juvie crawls. Navarre, that's who I was trying to think of. Yes, good call. That dude is pretty creative too, because he has to deal with like you know, the ocean fishing with his clients. I got to follow him because he's like, you know, an Old Town dude. It makes like a lot of good parts and pieces for Old Towns and others. All right, then we got the Great Lakes Finesse baby tube heads. I will put those right there next to all of our crawls. So I need to go order some more of those there baby tubes. And then I need to order some crawls for our jigs. Heck yeah, we're getting stuff done today. When I get that red, white, and blue one in, I can actually take that and make it like a day box. I might get their, might go ahead and order their terminal tackle one too, just to have a bigger one as I start recollecting. I mean, right now, sadly, most of our terminal tackle still fits in one of these little Busbies. But it is what it is. We'll get the stocks rebuilt back over the years. I got some of these NACO heads that I'm going to try in some of those fuzzy nug kind of scenarios. And then I didn't want to spend money on tungsten drop shot weights, because what's the point in that? So, you know, go get the old Eagle Claw lead drop shot, because realistically, if these come off under the rocks and all that stuff, you don't need to spend money on size on that, because size don't matter in drop shot weights. You're going to lose more than you keep, because you're just going to slip off the little keeper, which what they're supposed to do. If you get caught in a rock, you can, you know, break it off and not have to worry about it. But I like the tungsten nail weights just for size and things like that. All right, so I need to go get crawls. I need to put all these little, where's that Bonafide box? I need to get some more shaky head stuffs. I need to get on Monster Bass and order some more airtail wigglers. I need to go pick up some more Lew's reels too. I've got all Shimano rod and reels now, but I've still got my Monster Bass lunker sticks that I want to gear with Lew's, because Lew's and Shimano are my two primary brands when it comes to reels. That's pretty much because the original Lew used Shimano to build his early reels, and then Shimano kind of took the BB1 design and made it their own. That's where we ended up with the Corrados. But I love I love all my Shimano reels, but I also love me some Luz. And I realize Luz still follows me on Instagram. Isn't that cool? So I need to show them some love because, hey, they follow. I don't think Shimano does, but I'm not big enough to be. Be like a Shimano brand guy, even though I could easily be if I had to pick one. But I do also know that the Luz HQ is in the US. My boy Tom used to be the dude there. Now he's over at Fishing Chaos. May have to do a Gramps challenge on Fishing Chaos because that's where Tom is. I want to support him because he's always kind of supported the Fishing with Gramps channel as well. All right, we got some leftover tubes. I don't need to take these out of the bag and put them in the box. I'll put them down here in the soft plastics thing. There we go. Man, that actually worked out. What a day. What a day. All right, what do we got? Probably need to let you guys get back. And I don't know what time I'm meeting up with the boys tomorrow. But yeah, we will be on the Starlink in the boat. Me, Jeremy, Matt, Freedom Squad, doing the stuff and things. I need at least a 1-inch hole. Yeah. Oh, got you. All right, we'll go ahead and close that screen out. Ooh. What's my goal? It's 10 super chats, teal, and oh, they have these things built in where you can like try to get your viewers to like donate and set a goal. 10 super chats. And nope, don't want none of that. If anybody was going to donate anything in this direction, it would be... Oh, did I freeze? Did the screen freeze? We still got plenty of battery, I'm pretty sure. This is going to show me how much battery I have left. Oh, that's pretty cool. Huh, nice. I think we lost our live, I'm not sure. Let's do a refresh. Pull down on the screen. Connect your coder to start the preview. It says we're still live, so I think we're still okay. Yeah, it just timed out on my thingamabob. All right, man, I got a lot done. I'm ready to go fish with the boys tomorrow. We'll take the old. I will put this. I think I'm going to throw this tomorrow. I'm going to grab, I built a combo last year to throw these, and where we're going tomorrow, it should work. So I'm going to put this right back in this bag, and I am going to grab that Shimano SLX glide rod, and yeah, we're going to throw that tomorrow. So, for now, I'm going to go ahead and take these bad boys. Oh, we got stuff in all 5 now. Hell yeah, that actually works. I'm going to grab my label printer and label these. And then we're going to go in and put in an order. I got this little Nelco label printer. I use it for doing like my ID codes when I'm fishing derbs. Okay, you are a shaky head, and I had a shaky head somewhere. There we go, right there. I need shaky head stuff, I need crawls, I got bugs, I got more chatterbaits from Tackle Warehouse coming, I got plenty of crankbaits, jerkbaits, and a topwater, a few toppers, we got ploppers, we got things, we can do stuff. But I'm going to create little labels and put these on right there so then I can look and know what's what. Sweet. I hope everybody Hope everybody gets a chance to get out this weekend and go catch some fish. Thanks for hopping in the live stream again. I'm just testing to make sure everything looks good, sounds good. Well, it's only going to look so good with me in the picture. But hey, from now on, the picture that you're going to see is out the front of my boat catching some fish. Gramps is back. Glad to be back. I thought this channel was going to tank, go away. YouTube was going to kill it because I was gone for 9 months. But nope, we're coming back. We're getting back to the old school, just going fishing. We'll do some reviews. We'll do some how-tos, tips, tricks, reviews. Got to get the whole... Probably going to talk about some mental health stuff too, because while I haven't admitted it to myself, I went through a period of time there for about 6-8 months where I wasn't accepting what my actual fate was. So I was trying to treat my life like everything was normal when it was not. But we're going to talk about some of that. We're going to encourage others to get help, maybe even me. I don't think I need meds. I don't think I'm that far. But I think for me, it was just kind of like a fog that you kind of go through, kind of like post-pandemic. If you got COVID, you know what I'm talking about. But I had that before, and it wore off after 30, 35, 40 days. And then everything kind of got back right. Well, as right as it gets. But post-surgery, yeah, that shit really got me for a long time. But we're back. We're back in the right frame of mind. We're going to get out and do our fishing and encourage others to do the same thing. So, with all that said, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here for today. Watch. I'll post somewhere, but we're going to be live tomorrow, so watch the channel. I don't know what time yet. Me and Jeremy and Matt are going to meet up. I will probably make a post about it on the socials when it is, and then some point while we're there, once I get on the water and kind of get situated, we'll be live on the water with Freedom Squad. Me, Matt, and Jeremy doing our thing. So that being said, let me find the good old app for this, and we will end this live stream and let you guys get back to your day. First, I got to connect to the phone and hit end live stream. Thanks everybody for hopping in. 2.5 hours, but I got all this shit done. Now I'm gonna go make my wife mad and cut up the tree in the backyard. Love y'all. Until next time, get outside where you can and make some memories. One cast at a